Welcome to the garden. Today I'm showing you what a workday looks like in July. We have a few things on the agenda, starting with maintenance on my amaranth bed. This amaranth has been easy to grow and I've put in very little work since planting them. However, today I'm addressing these tree saplings because I don't want them growing any taller and shading out the amaranth. Luckily, when they're smaller like these ones, most of the branches are easy enough to pull out by hand, but for some of the branches I am using a hedge trimmer to make the job easier. These saplings are growing on top of an old tree root, so I can't grow anything here, but we still don't want them shading out the amaranth. And since I can't grow anything on this root, I'm just going to leave these branches I pulled out right here to decompose. Next order of business is clearing out this bed. This section is attached to the squash bed I cleared out just over 2 weeks prior. I didn't clear out the whole bed initially because I thought the plants I'm pulling out now were bee balm, and I wanted to keep them just in case they could produce flowers to attract pollinators, but they ended up wilting pretty bad in the extreme heat of July. So I'm pulling these up to plant something that might grow better here. I wanted to note I don't end up planting anything in this bed because the temperatures were climbing quickly, and as you can see, this area isn't shaded out by any trees, so it got hot by the time I'd pulled everything out. Since starting this backyard garden transformation, I've come to accept it's fine to not complete every single task in one day. I don't know about you, but I can get bogged down by overthinking tasks and trying to do 100 different things in a day, but some days getting 20 to 30 minutes done on a project can help later on and keep progress moving. After I've pulled out the plants I don't want, I'm laying down a layer of straw, which has been so helpful in other beds with moisture retention and weed suppression. At around noon, I get out of the sun and move under the shaded patio. I'm starting another round of quite a few different seeds. Here we're planting another round of okra. This is my first year growing okra, so I'm not sure how much is too much okra to plant, so I'm just going to keep planting more. Next is some winter squash. If I remember correctly, this variety is like a miniature butternut squash, and I planted 5, 1 in each block. Here is another butternut squash variety. This is a hybrid form, which will be good to compare to the one I just planted. Next up, I have 2 varieties of cucumber. One is a pickling cucumber and one is a slicing cucumber. Now, before planting these, my dad did warn me that I should only grow 1 to 2 cucumber plants, but since I started growing later in the season than most people, I want to catch up on how much I'm harvesting. So if this backfires, I will be sure to let my dad know he was right. Next up, we have a sweet pepper. I have started a ton of peppers from seed, spicy and mild ones, but only the starts I purchased from the store have made it to this point. Up next, I have zucchini. I currently have a few zucchini in grow bags, but they have yet to produce any female flowers, and as a result, any zucchini. Now, I've heard this from numerous gardeners. A good rule of thumb is to only grow what you're already eating. However, this next plant, collard greens, are going to be an exception for me. I haven't eaten a lot of collards in the past. I can't remember the last time I even had some, but they are supposed to be heat tolerant, so I figure it can't hurt to give them a try. Next, I have some Jericho lettuce. This is also supposed to be heat tolerant, so we are going to try this one as well. Lastly, I'm planting marigolds. This is one of my favorite plants of all time. They're supposed to repel pests, but also they're just beautiful flowers. And now I'm taking just a little extra potting mix and placing it over the seeds. I could have made divots in the soil and then just covered up the hole, but this is the method we're using today. And last step is watering, which will wrap up our morning in the garden.